forced, cold air smelled of pine and damp earth. As dawn crept over the forest, casting pale tendrils of light through towering trees, a man stumbled over moss-covered roots, breath ragged, eyes wide with confusion. His clothes were torn, a deep scar running along his temple, glistening with dried blood. He didn't know his name. The realization hit like a punch to the gut as he leaned against a gnarled oak, heart thudding in his chest. Flashes of distant laughter, warm voices, and the rustling of pages danced just beyond his reach, fragmented pieces of a puzzle with no corners. His fingers fumbled through his pockets. A crumpled photograph lay there, edges worn from time. In the picture, a woman with bright eyes and wild curls leaned against him, both of them grinning at the camera as though they knew secrets the world never would. He stared at the image, willing himself to remember her name, their story, anything, but his mind remained an abyss. A sudden rustle snapped him to attention. The forest, once serene, now pulsed with unseen danger. Shadows stretched unnaturally long, curling like fingers around the undergrowth. Panic gnawed at the edges of his composure, urging him to flee, though he had no idea where safety lay. "Who are you?" he whispered to himself, voice trembling. The trees gave no answer, but somewhere ahead, a flicker of golden light beckoned. His legs moved before his mind caught up, pulling him toward the glow. The path twisted, thick with vines that clawed at his ankles, as though nature itself wanted to keep him trapped in this labyrinth of oblivion. Finally, he broke into a clearing where a strange ethereal light bathed the ground. At its center stood a stone monolith, carved with symbols that shimmered faintly in the rising dawn. His pulse quickened. This place felt ancient, sacred, and familiar in a way that defied reason. As he stepped closer, a soft hum filled the air, resonating deep within his chest. His fingertips brushed the cool surface of the stone, and suddenly, the forest vanished. He stood on the deck of a ship beneath a star-strewn sky. The sea roared around him, wild and relentless. The woman from the photograph stood at the helm, laughter ringing out above the chaos. "We'll find it," she called, eyes alight with fierce determination, "even if it costs us everything." Then came fire, an explosion tearing through the night, the scent of smoke thick in the air. His body was flung backward into icy waters. He remembered the bitter cold, the weight of sinking, and the desperate fight for breath before darkness claimed him. The vision shattered, and he was back in the clearing, gasping for air. The stone beneath his hand pulsed like a heartbeat. Fragments of memory returned in jagged pieces. A daring voyage, a lost treasure, a promise made beneath ancient stars. His name surfaced at last, whispered by the wind itself, Kale, and as he stood there, memories flickering back to life like embers reigniting, he realized one thing with chilling certainty. The woman from the photograph was still out there, and she was waiting for him.